we're on to lesson plan 4. And now we're starting what we call the referral drill down. Okay, so we're going to really dig into the first 3 levels of systematic visibility and how you and your bragging buddy can turn these 3 simple techniques into referrals and then leverage on that as we go forward to get into the more advanced stuff. But the real production is in the basics here of mastering the 6 key situations and trigger questions. That's level 2, situational. Systematic visibility level 3, reverse visibility, which is going to be fresh material today. And then the annual review, 2 very powerful techniques. And then shifting into the bragging buddy mode when you have opportunity to ask trigger questions, recognize key situations, and then also start implementing these 3 and 4 levels of systematic visibility to go beyond what you've been doing at this point in the program. So the webinars that basically this material covers is number 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so go ahead and turn to page 18, and now I'm going to let my PowerPoints do some of the heavy lifting. And we'll go to page 18, and we're going to talk about systematic visibility level 2, situational. So we're going to review the 6 key situations and trigger questions, and this is easy stuff, okay? This is not, as I've said before, really rocket science, brain surgery stuff, but it's so powerful that it's easy to overlook. And so we're really going to drill down on the 6 key situations. You see them on page 18. Each one of these key situations is an opportunity to give more referrals. So I know that some of you are in the business builder power team, okay? Your business services, you really don't see an obvious connection to receive referrals through people getting married perhaps, or people getting healthy. That's what we'll talk about when we're on the phone together personally, but in general, it might just make more sense to focus on the business builder key situation for inbound referrals. But where do you think those inbound referrals come from? They come from the people that you're giving referrals to, right? Absolutely fueling the fire with an ongoing stream of referrals that are helping these people make money. That makes you top of mind for them. So even if the key situations don't all result in inbound referrals for you, look at them as an ongoing opportunity to give more referrals. So what are they? The business builder, right? Getting healthy, people getting married, people relocating, the real estate key situation, and the growing family with a new baby or one on the way. These are the 6 key situations. You know, I am thinking, I used to play a little music, haven't done much of that in recent years, but you know how sometimes you hear one of these corny songs and it just kind of sticks in your head and you can't get it out of your head all day and you wish you could, and you get angry at the person that played that, and now you can't get it out of your head. I think we're going to have the 6 key situation jingle that really just makes this stuff so obnoxiously prevalent in your mind that you can't help yourself but to say, you know what, I'm standing in the middle of a referral here. And then what happens? You need to ask a trigger question to create referrals for all these different business categories. So let's really get into trigger questions. We've got 3 on page 18. The biggest challenge trigger question is a monster. So easy. What's your biggest challenge with planning for the wedding, with building your business? Okay. Once you recognize somebody in a key situation, you ask the biggest challenge trigger question. This question is so powerful, the person you're talking to doesn't even have to be in a key situation that you recognize. Okay. Think about this. Okay. This is kind of a fun thing. Has anybody on the webinar done speed networking? Okay, I'm not talking about speed dating, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about speed networking. You familiar with the concept? You have a room full of people, half the group lines up on one side, half on the other side, and everybody gets a minute or 2 minutes to kind of rotate the chairs, talk to each other for a minute or 2, and then they go to the next person, and they're speed networking, aren't they? Okay. How about this? This is a powerful technique for anything having to do with speed networking. Rather than going to this event trying to create business for yourself, which of course may fall into your lap. But more importantly, go there to crank referrals for your network and your power team. And can you imagine if you've done speed networking and you sit down with each person for a minute and all you ask is, what's your biggest challenge at the moment? What do you think is going to happen? You're going to create a lot of referrals. So just making a point that the biggest challenge trigger question is at the top of the list. Now we've got the what else trigger question, okay? This is the yin to the yang, if you will, of the biggest challenge. So while you're busy with your biggest challenge, right, what else are you trying to accomplish? While you're busy with your key situation, with building your business or planning for the wedding or relocating or getting healthy, what else are you trying to accomplish? That's going to uncover an additional stack of money on the table. Okay, this is a great follow-up trigger question. And now we look at the third trigger question that we'll have fun with today, which is the big event trigger question. What's the next big event coming up for you? Okay, well, this trigger question is dynamic in that, yes, it can uncover referrals for the event contact sphere and the getting married power team or the new baby power team. But it can also be followed up with the biggest challenge trigger question. Oh, your next big event is the worldwide trip you plan on taking to celebrate all the referrals that you've been creating through Power Team Certified. You're going to take a 3-week world tour and hit some of the places you've always wanted to visit. What's your biggest challenge with that big event? Now you've got a referral for the pet sitter, the landscaper, and a host of other people from your BNI chapter. So these 3 trigger questions should be readily available to you at any moment as you prepare yourself to be a Power Team networker. These are super important if you're focused on creating referrals. Okay? Now, they can be used in a lot of different situations, and that's why we call this situational visibility level number 2. Okay? So, more trigger questions. If you go to the Money on the Table book, okay, this is an integrated program. I'm going to bring it up on the screen now. Go ahead and open up your Money on the Table book to page 149. Okay, we've looked at this a little bit before, but I want to make sure that everybody knows what we're doing here. Okay, if you go to page 149 of Money on the Table, you'll see that we start getting into some Bragging Buddy tips on how to give compelling testimonials, how to start bragging, what are the 5 simple yet essential skills. But then on, I guess it would be page 154, we start really breaking trigger questions down. Okay, we start breaking the trigger questions down, and we do it per key situation. So chapter 13 focuses on the business builder key situation. What you can do as you start going through the roster success worksheet and we start working together, you can review each of the subsequent pages to see which business categories do you have, and then what specific trigger questions can you ask to create referrals for a promotional product person, for example. Let me blow this up a little bit. Here's promotional products, okay? And so these are trigger questions you can ask. Do you have a really sharp promotional product person who can match the right item at the right price to reach your target market? Have you thought about customized calendar magnets, pens, coffee mugs, or other promotional products to help your customers and clients remember you? Okay, so you want to look through these chapters, identify the 6 key situations because you're giving referrals. This is about giving referrals. And then taking note if you have a promotional product person or a telecommunications person or whoever it might be, you can sensitize yourself to what kind of questions to ask that person, okay? Okay, so here we go. Let's turn the page to page 19. And now we're talking about reverse visibility, okay? Reverse visibility. We call this reverse visibility because unlike all the other levels of systematic visibility where you're promoting your network to the consumer, to the prospect, here you're making your clients and your sphere of influence visible to your bragging buddy, to the people on the power team. And so we're looking at each other's sphere of influence and database, past clients, and showing our people to our networking partner in a structured way so that we can see opportunity for ourselves that our Power Team networker might be overlooking. They don't know our business as well as we know it ourselves. And so this is a way to really expose money on the table that is easily deposited into the bank with good quality referrals once we follow a systematic approach. So let's have a look at an example. And this is all on page 19. One of the things I like about this example is that it combines two bragging buddies from different contact spheres, a massage therapist from health and wellness and a realtor from real estate and finance, two very different business categories, but they make a great example because it just shows you how it's more about the relationship, it's about trust, and it's about a systematic approach to visibility to create referrals. So here we go. This is an example. The massage therapist and the realtor are sitting down at a bragging buddy meeting, and they're at the agenda item that says do reverse visibility. So the massage therapist says, I'd like to talk about my new client this past week, Bob and Susie Jones. Bob and Susie are an elderly couple. They're retired. They have 8 kids, and the youngest son just left for college. They're pretty well to do, and from what I understand, they're planning on taking a trip pretty soon to visit their grandkids in Arizona. So the massage therapist says, what do you see there? These are my clients, Bob and Susie Jones. Realtor says, you know what? I see a lot of opportunity there. I think the Jones would be well served. You mentioned that they were well off financially. They should invest in a condominium for their son in college, rent out a couple of bedrooms, cover the mortgage, build some equity, and get a tax shelter. Massage therapist goes, oh my gosh, you know, I never would have thought of that, but that might be something they'd be interested in. Realtor says, well, let me ask a question. Did you see any deferred maintenance there? Because I think that they might be in what we call the empty nest demographic. Kids have left, they've got a big house. I say we sell their current home for top dollar, get a great deal on a new property, something that's more appropriate with no maintenance for active seniors. Massage therapist, wow, you hit the nail on the head. You know, they were talking about not wanting to do all that yard work anymore. And I did notice some deferred maintenance. I can't wait to introduce you to my new clients, Bob and Susie Jones. Realtor says, fabulous. I love it when this reverse visibility stuff works. I'd like to tell you about my new client, Ron Campbell. Mr. Campbell is in his 30s, very successful medical supply salesman. He's single, has no kids. The thing about this guy is that he's driving at least 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, and he was complaining about gaining weight, being out of shape. Massage therapist says, okay. I think Mr. Campbell would benefit from ongoing massage treatment to relieve the sore back that he has, give him more energy for his business. Now, he didn't mention a sore back, but I'm telling you that as a visual audio cue, I'd like to train you to recognize that anybody who's driving so many hours a day, so many days a week is going to be a good referral for me. Okay. In addition, how about a referral to the chiropractor, the nutritionist, a personal trainer, and even a chef? You mentioned he's well-to-do. All of these members of our power team could be relevant. Realtor says, wow, that's powerful. Okay. So you can do the same thing with your clients, with your database, with your sphere of influence. It can be friends or family. Okay. This reverse visibility number 3 is part of the ongoing agenda, and we're going to look at it here in a few minutes for your bragging buddy meetings. This is one way that you keep your bragging buddy meetings fresh. That's why you have that meeting on a regular basis, even as you get to know each other better and better over time. This is something that's dynamic and it changes, and you can expand it from your, as I said, your clients to your sphere of influence, and really create referrals for each other. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this straight from the heart. These things are not complicated. They do require commitment and they do require implementation. So let's go ahead and turn to page 20. And now we're going to drill down into systematic visibility level 4, the annual review. Okay, this completes the first 4 levels of systematic visibility and really is dynamite ammunition for creating referrals. Next week we're going to look at levels 5 through 10. We're going to go through all 6, and they're group activities, and we're going to have different ways to get people involved in implementing those activities, and it's a lot of fun. But right now, 1 through 4 can create a ton of referrals for you guys. And that other group, you know, I mentioned on the recorded videos, we've got a Monday group here today that we're working with, and we also have a Friday group. And the Friday group's a couple weeks ahead of you guys. We've got some people on there with some amazing success stories that are not just doubling and tripling their referrals, but actually going from 2 or 3 a week to 10 to 11 referrals a week by implementing some of this stuff, and just very, very exciting. So I want your success stories and really start documenting how this is working for you. Let's drill down now, page 20, systematic visibility level 4, the annual review. Okay, the annual review, I have structured telephone call there. I've told you, I think, on the first week that I am giving a prize for the person who has the most marked up workbook. The person who took the most copious notes during these webinars is going to win a very special prize. So I'd like for you to go ahead and right after structured telephone call, write the words or face-to-face meeting. Okay, or face-to-face meeting. So it's either a phone call or a face-to-face meeting, starting with your past clients to give value by asking trigger questions to uncover referral opportunities. Okay, a lot going on with this little sentence. Let's break it down. So it's either a phone call or maybe lunch, maybe breakfast, coffee with past clients to start with. And then how about this phrase, giving value? Giving value by asking trigger questions. Here's the deal. I want you to be a champion for your bragging buddies, for your power team. I want you to feel so good about the consumer value that you're sharing with the prospect, with the consumer, the person that you're talking to, that you feel truly that you're giving value to that person. You know your power team partner is going to make you look good when they do their service or, you know, provide their product. The client, the customer at that point is going to really thank you for the connection. And that's the spirit I want you to bring to the table when you're giving compelling testimonials, okay? And that's why this annual review requires that kind of enthusiastic support, because you're being proactive. Of all of the referral creation strategies that we've looked at so far, this is the highest level of being proactive and committed with activity. You're actually going to pick up the phone or meet with people with the intention of asking trigger questions to uncover referral opportunities, okay? So let's have a look at a basic script that you can use. And you see it there on page 20. I'll just kind of rattle through it. I'm calling to check in for our annual review. As your realtor, it helps me to provide exceptional customer service by staying in touch and up to date. I'm doing a lot of networking with a variety of business professionals who have a variety of products and services that might save you time or money. Now, these are people who I know, like, and trust, and they're great at what they do. Would it be okay if I asked a few questions to check in and see what's new? Of course, they'll give permission. Are you planning or buying or selling a home, any real estate, in the next 30 days to 2 years? Now, if I'm using the example of being a realtor. This would not be the first question that I would ask for my own profession. That was just an example that I chose to go with. And so if you're networking with a realtor, okay, this would be a question that you'd ask. If you're networking with a mortgage person, this would be a question that you would ask. Are you or anyone you know planning on getting married in the next 6 months to 2 years? Okay. Do you know anyone in a growing family with a new baby or one on the way? So you can see what we're doing. We're basically picking out trigger questions based on the strengths that we have in our network. That's where that Power Team roster success worksheet comes in handy, because now we can really start seeing where our focus should be, not only to create referrals for the people in the group now, but the open categories and attracting people in. And so that's our big topic for next week. I'd like for you to refer to the Money on the Table book, chapters 13 through 18, which we looked at earlier, for an extensive collection of these trigger questions. You can create your own list of trigger questions based on your Power Team roster. Okay? So that completes webinar number 10. We're breezing through this stuff. It's easy, isn't it? Easy. But are you implementing it? That's where you'll enjoy the results, the benefits of your efforts. This is an investment. There's no cost here. This is an investment of your time, your focus, and your intention. Okay? So let's go ahead and turn the page to page 21. Page 21. Now we're going to get into a couple of concepts and then the ongoing Bragging Buddy meeting agenda. Okay, so this is an introduction to what we're calling order takers, connectors, and creators, and then a review of the agenda that you use when you have your Bragging Buddy and you're getting together on a regular basis. Okay, your Bragging Buddy experience starts with 2 meetings. Your boot camp meeting number 1, where you do an interview exchange with your 10 key questions, each one of you taking notes on the other one's answers, learning about what makes them different, what makes them special, how to give compelling testimonials, how to recognize their target market. That's the first meeting, boot camp meeting number 1. The second meeting with your Bragging Buddy basically focuses on the Connector to Creator worksheet. Now, I know that some of you have completed your Connector to Creator. We'll be talking about that when I give you a call in the next week. All right? If you haven't completed it, get it done, and then that way we can talk about not only your best key situation, but your Golden Goose referral sources, how to brag about you, and what are the audio and visual cues that you're training the rest of your Power Team to recognize. Remember on the example we just did on reverse visibility, and the massage therapist was going over Ron Campbell, who drives, 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. At that point, the massage therapist realized in the example that this is an audio or visual cue to train the Power Team on. Okay, that's the kind of fun we're going to have when we talk about your Connector to Creator worksheet. What are you training your Power Team to look for? Okay, we've got all kinds of tricks, and you can see those at the back of the workbook. If you haven't looked at the Connector to Creator directory, which has all the examples for each of the 6 contact spheres, you'll see a ton of that stuff already done, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Okay, but here we go. We're on page 22, and now we're going to take a look at order takers. Order takers, okay? And so let's talk a little bit about the word, the phrase, the term order taker. Unfortunately, too often there's a negative connotation if you call somebody an order taker, okay, unless if they're taking orders for you, and then you absolutely love them. Now, the order taker is a passive bragging buddy who reacts to a direct question, do you know a good chiropractor, or whatever business category you're looking for. The good news is that the order taker can be your most prolific referral source if they are in ongoing contact with your target market. And believe it or not, we can create prolific order takers from other contact spheres on a regular basis. If you're in the business builder key situation, I can show you how the getting married Power Team, the getting healthy Power Team can drive a lot of business for you as order takers by making you systematically visible as it's relevant to their target market. Okay, so let's celebrate the order taker, people who are in ongoing contact with our target market. These are people we want to attract into the network. Well, how about the next level? of being a bragging buddy, which is a connector. Okay? Connectors are active. They're recognizing these visual cues. So for example, if you're a chiropractor, you might be training people to recognize people who are limping or an obvious discomfort, or are using phrases like they fell or car accident or pain. And then the connector is going to approach the prospect as a bragging buddy. And what do we know about bragging buddies? They give compelling testimonials. Okay, so they're going to be active, they're going to recognize a cue, and they're going to spring into motion to create referrals. To be a connector, people have to be motivated, and you have to be in position to keep them motivated with an ongoing stream of referrals flowing in their direction. Okay. Next, we have the creator. Okay. The creator is a proactive bragging buddy who recognizes and approaches a golden goose referral source for you. That's an ongoing stream of referrals from somebody who is in ongoing communication or in visibility, credibility with your target market. And your bragging buddy is starting to bring those people to you now, creating an ongoing stream of referrals. This is really the epitome of what you're looking for, and that's why the golden goose slot on the connector to creator worksheet is there, because we really want to dial you in on where the ongoing stream of referrals is. That creates the predictability of where your volume is coming from. Okay, so these are the three levels, and now we're going to use the ongoing meeting agenda to mobilize those three levels of activity. This ongoing bragging buddy meeting agenda on page 22 is going to take people from being an order taker to a connector to a creator, and make sure that your bragging buddies are firing on all cylinders. Okay, so let's break this agenda down a little bit and take a look at what we've got. Number one, we're going to review each level of systematic visibility for implementation and referrals created. So what does that mean? We're sitting down with our bragging buddy. We can use the bragging buddy tally sheet. Remember that? The bragging buddy tally sheet that shows us where we're at. In fact, let's go ahead and maybe have a look at that. The bragging buddy tally sheet, okay, is on the training support tab, right? That's the ID password protected tab. And let's click on it, the bragging buddy tally sheet. When I give you a call next week, for those of you that have completed some homework, this is what I'm going to be putting together for your different BNI chapters. And so this is really a simple document. We've covered it before, but let's review quickly. This is a simple document that helps you keep track of where you're at with your bragging buddy. What key situation are you focused on? Maybe it's the business builder. Okay, we put your name. Maybe it's Bob, and your bragging buddy, which is Sue. And then, have you had your first meeting or not? Have you had the second meeting or not? Are you implementing systematic visibility number 1, 2, 3, and 4 or not? If you are, I'm going to guarantee you that you can check the next box, which is yes, we've created referrals, and hopefully perhaps even created a golden goose. Okay. Once you've gone through the tally sheet with your bragging buddy, now you're going to be ready for what we talk about next week, where these successful bragging buddy duos and trios seek out another duo and trio that shares the same key situation, and they become a Power Team Pioneer group. Okay. So I'm hoping this makes sense. I'm asking you to use the bragging buddy tally sheet as you're working your way through your ongoing bragging buddy meeting agenda. Okay. So you're going to start out that meeting by reviewing systematic visibility for implementation and referrals created, and you can use your bragging buddy tally sheet for that. You're going to actually perform level 3 reverse visibility right there on the spot. We just covered that. Okay, so you'll figure out how much time you're going to devote to that, how many clients you have, how quickly you get into your sphere of influence, but you're going to do this on an ongoing basis to create referrals. Then we're going to expand our horizons a little bit as bragging buddies, and we're going to discuss visitors to the networking meeting for follow-up. You're going to talk about, well, who came to our BNI meeting this past week? What business categories were they in? Did we talk to them ourselves? Did we get to know them a little bit, make them feel welcome, help them see themselves creating referrals for the group? And are these folks potential bragging buddies based on the key situations that drive their business? If so, what are we going to do to follow up? Okay. As the power team members of this chapter, we're leaders of the group by example. We're giving in abundance. We're not just creating referrals for everybody in the chapter who's relevant. We're leading by example by helping convert visitors into members. Strong, healthy chapters have an ongoing flow of new members coming into the group, and as power team leaders, you can help the visitors see themselves be relevant to the strengths of the chapter, and that increases your conversion ratio. And we will be talking about that next week using some stuff that we've got in Power Team Certified to help you attract more visitors and convert more visitors into members. So this is on your agenda for your ongoing meeting. And then the gains profile. Okay, the gains profile you've seen before. It's goals, accomplishments, interests, networks, and skills. Dr. Meisner coined this many years ago, and it's extremely valuable in an ongoing format as you continue to keep your relationships fresh with the people who you're invested most, your bragging buddies and your power team. Okay? So as we ask you on the bottom of page 22, who are your order takers? Who's in regular contact with your target market and creating referrals for you? Who are your connectors? People that are recognizing audio and visual cues, going out of their way to give compelling testimonials for you, and who knows you well enough to create an ongoing stream of business by introducing you to Golden Goose referral sources. Who are these people? Okay, we want your power team and your bragging buddies' names to be there, and then are you reciprocating? Pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward stuff.